Welcome to Biochemistry DSP channel. Uh, today I'll be discussing about the oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvate. Pyruvate undergoes oxidative decarboxylation in the presence of the enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. It's a multi-enzyme complex consisting of three enzymes. The enzymes are pyruvate dehydrogenase, dihydrolipoyl transacetylase and dihydrolipoyl dehydrogenase. So these three enzymes are embedded in the same enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase. Hence it is a multi-enzyme complex because three enzymes are embedded in the same enzyme. If you remove one enzyme also it will be inactive. This pyruvate is formed in the cytosol via glycolytic pathway, uh, and this pyruvate will enter into mitochondria where it is oxidatively decarboxylated into acetyl CoA with the help of a multi-enzyme complex called pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. Then the acetyl CoA will enter into TCA cycle to be metabolized into CO2 and water, which will liberate 3 ATPs. And totally, since two molecules of pyruvate is generated during glycolysis, it will result in the production of 6 ATPs. And for this reaction to occur, 5 coenzymes is also required. TPP, that is thymine pyrophosphate, FAD, flavin adenine dinucleotide, lipoic acid and coenzyme A and NAD+, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide are required for the oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvic acid. The mechanism involved in this reaction is first pyruvate is decarboxylated with the help of the enzyme called pyruvate dehydrogenase, which will use TPP as the coenzyme. Okay, so this pyruvate is decarboxylated. The first step in the pyruvate decarboxylation reaction is pyruvate is decarboxylated using the coenzyme TPP to form hydroxyethyl derivative. Okay, so it will result in the formation of hydroxythymine pyrophosphate. So this will be the product due to with the help of the enzyme called, it's a multi-enzyme complex, so it has got three enzymes embedded in it as pyruvate dehydrogenase, dihydrolipoyl transacetylase and dihydrolipoyl dehydrogenase. So the first step is involvement of this pyruvate dehydrogenase enzyme, which will decarboxylate. Decarboxylation means removal of a CO2 from pyruvic acid. So CO2 will be removed from this pyruvic acid with the help of the coenzyme thymine pyrophosphate to yield the compound hydroxyethyl thymine pyrophosphate. Now the second reaction is this hydroxyethyl thymine pyrophosphate will react with this. The second step is it will react with lipomide. Lipomide is that is the oxidized form of lipomide. Okay, it will react with the oxidized form of lipomide, which is a derivative from the another coenzyme lipoic acid, to yield a product called acetyl dihydrolipomide with the help of the second enzyme embedded in the pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, that is dihydrolipoyl transacetylase. So this is the second reaction. Then in the third step, the acetyl lipomide will react with coenzyme A. Okay, this acetyl lipomide will react with coenzyme A to form acetyl CoA. This is the reaction we required, conversion of this pyruvate to acetyl CoA. So here it will take place. Okay, in the presence of the enzyme dihydrolipoyl transacetylase, acetyl component. Okay, this coenzyme A, it will react with coenzyme A so that it will form a product called acetyl CoA. Okay, acetyl CoA will be formed and also it will liberate the reduced form of this lipomide. Okay, and reduced lipomide will be liberated. Then the reaction is completed when the reaction is completed when the reduced uh, lipomide is reoxidized by a flavoprotein called containing FAD. Okay, flavoprotein, this is FAD. So the reduced form of this lipoic acid will be reoxidized once again into oxidized form of lipomide with the help of the enzyme called dihydrolipoyl dehydrogenase, which will utilize FAD as the coenzyme. So FAD will be converted into FADH2, releasing the reduced form of this lipoic acid. Okay, reduced form means here SH, you can see this. So reduced form of lipoic acid will be liberated. Finally, this FADH2 will be converted again into this FAD molecule with the help of another coenzyme called NAD+. Okay, this NAD+ will remove this two hydrogen ions to be converted into NADH plus H plus. So finally, this is a reaction. So finally, at the end of this pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, pyruvate is converted into acetyl CoA, okay, which is utilizing a coenzyme A and NAD plus. Why we are saying pyruvate is converted into acetyl CoA with the help of this coenzyme A and NAD plus means the other three coenzymes, thiamine, pyrophosphate or lipoic acid or FAD, all these are regenerated in the same reaction. Okay, it is we are getting back this thiamine pyrophosphate as well as this lipoic acid as well as this FAD are given back to the reaction. Only this coenzyme A and NAD plus is utilized. Hence, we have to write the reaction as pyruvate reacting with this coenzyme A with the help of NAD plus into NADH plus H plus, giving acetyl CoA with the release of CO2. Okay, this is the reaction catalyzed by pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. Why it is a complex, multi-enzyme complex means three enzymes are embedded in it. Okay, as such, if we call pyruvate dehydrogenase means pyruvate dehydrogenase complex means it means that there are three enzymes which is catalyzing this conversion of this pyruvate to acetyl CoA. So it is embedded with three enzymes called pyruvate dehydrogenase, which will utilize TPP as its coenzyme, then dihydrolipoyl transacetylase, which will use as lipomide as the coenzyme, then dihydrolipoyl dehydrogenase, which will utilize FAD and NAD plus as coenzyme, and this dihydrolipoyl transacetylase will also utilize coenzyme A. Along with lipomide, it will also utilize coenzyme A. So these are the 5 coenzymes and 3 enzymes which are involved to convert this pyruvate to acetyl CoA. So this is a reaction, oxidation. It's an example for oxidative decarboxylation. Okay, decarboxylation means removal of CO2. The presence of oxidation. Okay, it's an oxidation reaction. Hence, we are calling it as oxidation of pyruvic acid or oxidative decarboxylation. So in the first step, pyruvate. Okay, a carboxyl group. This is the carboxyl group. The carboxyl group is removed from pyruvate, releasing CO2. So how we are getting CO2 means from this pyruvate CO2 has been removed. Okay. Then in the second in the oxidation reaction means NAD plus is reduced into NADH plus H plus. So again it's a oxidation reaction. Okay, here in this oxidation reaction, then we are getting back acetyl. That is our acetyl group is transferred to this coenzyme A. So coenzyme A is also involved in this reaction. A acetyl group, okay, this CH3C double bond to acetyl group is there. No, this has been transferred to this coenzyme A, resulting in the formation of acetyl CoA. So this is a mechanism involved in the oxidation of pyruvate. So this is a reaction, okay, pyruvate reacting with this coenzyme A, involving NAD plus giving NADH plus H plus, releasing a molecule of CO2, and finally this coenzyme A has been transferred to this acetyl group of pyruvate to be converted into acetyl CoA with the help of the enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. Okay, so this is a reaction catalyzed, and how this enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase is regulated. It is regulated using end product inhibition and covalent modification. So, pyruvate dehydrogenase is inhibited by the products. End product inhibition means it will be the pyruvate will be inhibited by its product. The products means here it is acetyl CoA and NADH. This is the product. So this enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase complex will be inhibited with the the end product, that is a feedback inhibition. Okay, it will be inhibited by the same end product acetyl CoA and NADH. Uh, it is also regulated by the covalent modification. That means by phosphorylation of this kinase of the 3 serine residues of this enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase. Okay, it's a multi-enzyme complex resulting in decreased activity, and by dephosphorylation of a phosphatase enzyme that will increase the activity. Okay, the kinase enzyme will be activated by the increased formation of ATP or ADP, or it will be increased by the formation of acetyl CoA or by CoA, and by NADH or NAD+. So all this ATP, acetyl CoA and NADH will stimulate the enzyme activity, and therefore pyruvate dehydrogenase, that is and glycolysis. Okay, this pyruvate dehydrogenase and glycolysis will be inhibited not only by a high energy potential but also when fatty acids are being oxidized. Okay, so they will be, this pyruvate dehydrogenase complex will get inhibited when fatty acids undergo oxidation. So in starvation, when free fatty acid concentrations increase, okay, this free fatty acid concentrations will increase during the starvation condition. That time there will be a decrease in the proportion of the enzyme in the active form, leading to a sparing of carbohydrate. In adipose tissue, where glucose provides acetyl CoA for lipogenesis, the enzyme is activated in response to insulin. So this is how the enzyme is activated by covalent modification. So in prolonged starvation and during diabetic condition, glucagon, which will induce lipolysis and enhance the fatty acid oxidation in the liver, which will cause a rise in the concentration of acetyl CoA and NADH, thereby inhibiting the activity of pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. Okay, by activating the enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase kinase. In adipose tissue, where glucose serves as a precursor for acetyl CoA for lipogenesis, insulin will stimulate the activity of pyruvate dehydrogenase complex by activating the enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase phosphatase. Okay. So during muscular activity, when there is rapid and urgent need for ATP, a rise in intracellular concentration of calcium will increase the activity of pyruvate dehydrogenase complex by activating the enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase phosphatase. So this is how the enzyme will be regulated. Okay. So the pyruvate dehydrogenase complex exists in two forms. Active form is the dephosphorylated form is the active form, and phosphorylated form of the pyruvate dehydrogenase is the inactive form. Okay, all enzymes will exist in two forms called phosphorylated form and dephosphorylated form. In one form only it will be active. So this pyruvate dehydrogenase complex is active only in the dephosphorylated form, whereas it is inactive in the phosphorylated form. Okay, this dephosphorylation and phosphorylated forms are regulated by enzyme insulin and glucagon. Biomedical significance of this pyruvate dehydrogenase complex reactions. Since we know that thymine is enzyme derived, thymine is vitamin derived from the B complex vitamin, vitamin B1. It is also required as a coenzyme for pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. Okay, in the form of TPP. Thymine in the form of coenzyme TPP, it is required for pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, and as a result when thymine deficiency is there, the pyruvate dehydrogenase complex becomes non-functional. Okay, because pyruvate thymine pyrophosphate is required for pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. As a result, the oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvate gets impaired. This will lead to accumulation of pyruvate and lactate in the body, especially in the nervous tissues, which will lead to severe and several neurological symptoms. The neurological symptoms will include peripheral neuritis, CNS disorders, which will be similar to thymine deficiency in patients with beriberi and chronic alcoholics. Okay, so whatever symptoms which is exhibited by this beriberi and chronic alcoholics, the same symptoms we can find when there is deficiency of this thymine. Then inherited deficiency of the enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase will lead to lactic acidosis due to overproduction of lactic acid. Then arsenate and mercuric ions will inhibit the enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase complex by binding with the SH group of lipoic acid. We know that lipoic acid is one of the coenzyme for pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. So all these are biomedical importance of this pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe and support the channel Biochemistry DSP.